But we're going to make a murder picture. At first, he's going to scan the city.
Oh, break-in picture, like.
He doesn't get killed. And we try and rob a place. And then we beat him up because we see him. And then we escape and they're chasing us.
Yeah. And then I go and rescue my pal after then we get jumped. But I make it away and then I find him the next day around the building.
Movie making isn't what it used to be. Once it was grand and very distant, the property of a handful of giant corporations. Once the movies supplied America with prepaid dreams and packaged lovers. Now you can film your own dream for a few bucks. Film is becoming a personal medium, accessible to anyone like crayons or balsa wood. The exploding creativity of American youth is engaged in the creation of a new and genuine culture, and film is one of the most important, most revealing aspects of this culture. The films of young people are, in a sense, the most contemporary American cinema.
All right, cut.
I think it's very educational. Keeping the children out the streets, extracurriculum. And if that's the way they have communicating rather than reading and writing, I think it's very good.
Now, are you a filmmaker?
Yes.
What did you make?
I made an 8mm movie called Laura's Remarkable Trip to Puddleby Town.
What is the subject of the film?
Well, it's about a little girl that goes into a dream, and she goes into a world where people are very small. And to do this, we animated Swedish trolls.
How long did it take you to make this film?
Well, this movie took about a half a year.
Why did it take so long to make?
Well, it was my first movie, and, it was just very hard to animate.
Where did you learn the technique?
Well, we just started on our own, my girlfriend and I.
Why film?
Well, we just thought it was a good idea. You see, we didn't know that the film business was really in for students, and when we read about this, we thought that we would want to show this film here.
We had to make our own movie instead of a term paper, so I thought a movie would be easier, so I made it. And made to get something that we knew something about, so I took teenage problems. And what do teenagers do? They fight. And we focused on them just fighting, and they kept on fighting. And then I bought 2 fish, and I put them in an aquarium. And I forget their names, but as soon as you put them together, they always fight. So we showed the teenagers fighting, then bingo, we went right back to the fish. We saw them fighting. And finally, the fish kill each other. In the last sequence, the 2 kids jump into a swimming pool. And that was our film. It was good.
We come from Philadelphia. We go to Shaw School. We made a film called The Housebreak, and I'm 13. He's 15, 14. At the beginning, I think it's a couple guys playing cards, and one guy sneaks a card out, from the sock.
Right.
And it's a fight. So then I step in, and I knock the bad guy over. Because he killed the guy that was sneaking the card. He killed him with his fist. He beat him to death. So I knocked him out. Then I told another guy to watch the door for cops. So then he went to sleep. So I threw my hand at him, and then when it hit the floor, he looked over there. And it was an envelope, and it said, "To the Hawks," on 13 Dead in the Street, I think it was. So he handed...
The Hawks are a gang?
Yes.
You know a lot about gangs?
No, not too much.
You don't?
No.
Did you make it up just out of your head?
Not this, our group did.
There wasn't supposed to be no violence in the film, but it just turned out that way.
Why do you think it turned out that way?
I don't know, somebody had a bright idea and said, hey, how about pulling the card out your sock?
Yeah.
So someone put a card in his sock, pulled it out, and the other boy just...
That's it,
And that's how they got into a fight.
Yes.
What kind of world do you think it was before the television set was invented?
A boring.
These parents and the older people, they just don't seem to see yet, what film has to offer. They say we're living in a world of television. Everything's being thrown at us, and we're not putting forth anything. And this is a lot of hokey because in film you have so much more to work with. You have so many more outlets for your imagination. They're completely wrong, and it's so hard to convince them.
Why film? Because
what's film got to
I
say
think
anything?
it's the best way of saying anything. You
attack more senses than any other way of presenting an idea. When you read something, you're reading it with your eyes. When you listen to something, you're listening to it. And it's only one sense acting. And when you watch a film, you're listening, you're watching, you've got the presence of the audience around you. It's all these things combined, and they literally attack the senses.
What'd you let those kids in here for? You buy something or get out.
Give me 15 cents worth of meat. Don't throw that at me.
Boy, you better get your black ass out of here. Go get my gun. Give me that gun.
Like the outside kids who haven't never seen it before, when they see it, they sort of laugh at it, you know, like, you know. And then afterward, they'll tell me about, you know, hey man, that was a good film. I liked it, you know. And when they're sitting there looking at it, they're laughing at it, and I wonder why sometimes. You know?
Why do you think? Why was there a first reaction to that?
I guess because you know, it struck them funny, you know, a guy like me going out and making a film, and they're sitting there, and you know, things like that.
Well, you know, what my husband said was that we'll never get to make films until film is as cheap as paper. Well, film isn't as cheap as paper, and look what's happening. Look.